Welcome to Mortgage Mom Wines, a weekly podcast with real and relatable talk and advice for real women. I'm your host, Megan. Grab your extra large coffee or glass of wine, no one is judging, and let's grow together. Welcome to Mortgage Mom Wines, a weekly podcast with real and relatable talk and advice for real women. I'm your host, Megan. Grab your extra large coffee or glass of wine, no one is judging, and let's grow together. Welcome to another episode of Mortgage Mom Wines. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening. Today we are going to be talking all about mastering your day as a busy professional. Last week we talked kind of about all things momming and managing personal. Today we're going to talk about all things business and increased productivity as working women and potentially, of course, working moms. If you're listening to this, you're probably a working mom, but if you're not, and you're just a busy professional woman, hopefully going to share some tips and tricks that'll help you as well. But we live in such a fast-paced world now. As professional women, we find ourselves juggling all the things between work and home, and the right balance between maximizing our productivity can definitely be a challenge. So I'm going to share a few things that help me and that I should be doing. I don't always do, but these are things I know I should be doing and that are in my business plan to do that can help you accomplish more in less time as a business professional. So no matter what industry you're in, hopefully some of these things can help you. And the first thing I want to start with is planning and scheduling. And not just planning and scheduling, but planning and scheduling with precision. Being super dialed in with it, not just vague. We have to be specific. It has to be precise. So grab your wine, grab your notepad, grab your Stanley, your cup of coffee, whatever it is, and let's get into it. So starting with planning and scheduling. I can't stress enough the importance of time blocking and leveraging calendars. Making sure you're using platforms that talk to each other, whether that's if you use Outlook or Google or whatever it is that you use, whatever calendar platform, make sure it's synced with all of your tech and your family calendar. I know a lot of people don't like to mix business and personal, and that's okay. I use my Google Calendar for personal, my Outlook calendar for business, but I make sure that they're linked and they talk to each other. A cool tool, if you're a professional that has to schedule appointments, which we all are, right? We all have appointments, whether we're managing clients or our family, whatever it is. Calendly is a tool that I use, and I just started using it this year, and I swear by it. Calendly has changed my life. It is basically a program where you can streamline your scheduling process and send people the link to your calendar, and they can schedule with you. So I not only use it for clients, but I use it for other business professionals who need a meeting with me. If somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, Megan, I want to have coffee. Cool. And then how many times does somebody reach out to you for coffee or lunch or, a professional meeting? Maybe a client needs to sit down one-on-one with you and you go back and forth and you email back and forth. Well, how about Tuesday at 1 o'clock? Oh, no, that doesn't work for me. How about Wednesday at 4? No, that doesn't work for me. And the back and forth can go on for days. And next thing you know, it took you 2 weeks to sit down and schedule this meeting or this cup of coffee. I can't stress, Calendly takes all of that out. So now when someone wants a meeting with me, I send them the link to my Calendly, which basically it links to my Outlook calendar. So if something is on my Outlook calendar, it blocks out that time and shows that I'm unavailable. If I'm on vacation, as long as my Outlook calendar says I'm busy, someone cannot schedule in that time. It communicates with Outlook or Gmail or whatever account you use. It talks to several different platforms, but basically I send them the link and say, schedule a time that works for you. Because if it's not time blocked on my calendar, it's going to show me available. I'm available. So it forces me to live by my calendar and be available when my calendar says I am. And then that client or business partner or whoever it is can schedule a time that works for them and it works for you. Can't share or stress enough about how much I love Calendly. No, this isn't a paid ad. I'm not a spokesperson for Calendly, but it is there is a free version, but I think it's only I want to say maybe like $9 a month. It's the cheapest automation. I can't stress it enough. I just love it. You got to use it. If you don't, if you're a business professional, a business owner who schedules appointments, it's amazing. So planning and scheduling, Calendly, time blocking your calendar, also prioritizing. Start your day, plan your day every day at the beginning and at the end. You're going to start your day by identifying your most critical tasks. Write yourself a to-do list for the day. Personally, I write my to-do list and then I try to start at the bottom, work my way backwards, because the most important tasks at the top have to get done. So if I start at the bottom with the things I've been procrastinating, I'm more likely to move through that list faster. That's been a game changer for me. That helps you focus on what truly matters, right? And then also embracing strategic delegation. What does that mean? So recognizing the tasks that you can complete. We're only one person. There's only so many hours in a day. What tasks can you delegate? And I know that's easier said than done. And something I forgot to mention on the podcast last week about delegating was delegate to family members. As a busy mom, chores and things around the house and things that you can let go, delegate. If you have kids who are old enough to do certain age-appropriate chores, delegate those chores. Take them off your plate, mama. It is no different in the workplace. So if you can recognize tasks that you can delegate to others, you're 10 steps ahead of a lot of people. Now, being a business owner or a business professional and a woman in general, I don't know about you, I am controlling. I like to control what goes on in my day, but little things I can delegate. And by delegate, I mean, what can we use tools for? It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, but can we use ChatGPT to help us come up with content? Can we, like I said, with Calendly, just delegating that out to the person scheduling? Can you do that? Focus on activities that require your unique expertise. Something a business coach told me a while back is, Megan, she asked me, she said, Megan, how much are you worth per hour? And so I'm like, wow, I'm a commissioned employee. I never thought about that. Like, how much am I worth per hour? So I took my annual salary that I had made that year, and I was doing my business plan and everything, and I divided it by a 40-hour work week. Now, I know you're all probably saying, well, I work more than 40 hours a week. Most of us do. I'm just using this as an example, but divide your salary or commission or, your business income, whatever it is, by 40 hours a week and figure out your hourly rate. How much are you worth per hour? If you can delegate a task to somebody for less than that, you should. And baby steps, start small. Maybe we're delegating, things like marketing or I don't know, just anything, content planning, just little things, right? Can we delegate tasks? Because if you can pay somebody $20 an hour to do something and you're worth $100 an hour, you're going to be able to spend more time doing those income producing tasks that increase your income. So embrace that delegation. I know it's easier said than done, but just try. Start with one small thing and try. The second point I want to make is mastering your time management through time blocking. I already mentioned it, but this whole time blocking thing. What is it? If you don't implement time blocking already, I highly, highly recommend. Now, I understand everybody works differently, but time blocking is huge. Allocate specific time blocks for different activities through your day. So this helps you focus on one task at a time. If you time block 1 hour in your calendar, maybe you need to make phone calls to past clients, or maybe you need to make phone calls to current clients, or you need to schedule meetings for business partners. If you time block that on your calendar, put your phone on do not disturb and just focus on that one task for an hour or half an hour, whatever it is you've time blocked or delegated that time for. You need to do that. You will be so much more productive if you are fully focused on that time block. And if you put it on your calendar, what gets scheduled gets done. So, and if you have to move it around for an appointment or something like that, if it's time blocked on your calendar, you can just drag it. Let's say an urgent meeting comes up and every Wednesday at noon, you make phone calls, but for whatever reason, maybe you have to go to a doctor's appointment for your child or something like that. You don't delete those noon calls that you make every Wednesday. You just drag that time block over to another time where you're free. So it's still getting done. That's the importance of time blocking. Also, mastering time management through not just time blocking, but using technology to your advantage. Technology is a blessing and a curse. However, if we're using it to our advantage, I believe it can help us be more efficient and do more with less time. So employing apps and tools that support time blocking, like I mentioned, Calendly is one of them. For instance, digital calendars, set yourself reminders, set yourself alerts. I can't tell you how many times that I look at my phone and go, hey Siri, remind me to do this. Don't underestimate the power of doing that. Use technology to your advantage. Review and adjust accordingly. So at the end of each week, maybe review your schedule for the following week and see what is working and what isn't. And maybe you time blocked in your calendar an hour for your Wednesday calls. Maybe you got it done in 45 minutes and you realized, wow, if I really focus and put everything on do not disturb and just focus on this one task, maybe you can get that done in 45 minutes instead of an hour. So now you have that extra 15 minutes to prep content for the following week, or read that book you've been procrastinating, or listen to the quick podcast. Now you just created yourself an extra 15 minutes because you're tracking what you're doing with time blocking. So take time each week to plan for the following week and review and adjust what you can to kind of free up and create what I call some more white space in your schedule. The third thing I wanted to talk about today was staying focused with business tools. So I don't know about you guys, but there are so many tools out there. There's so many apps. One thing I love about my company is all the help and all the tools we have available, but it's also the one thing that stresses me out, right? There's always a new shiny penny out there. There's always a new customer relationship marketing system or a new app that's claiming to just solve all the world's problems in your business, right? But staying focused on, I always tell people that I'm talking to that ask for advice or whatever in their business, pick 3 tools and roll with it. Master those 3 tools that you can't live without. So for you, that might be AI, ChatGPT. That might be Canva if you're into marketing. That might be your customer relationship marketing or your CRM. I know a lot of business professionals use platforms like Salesforce or Total Expert or Big Purple Dot. There's so many out there, but pick a few things that work for you, master those tools, and make sure you're using them to their fullest potential. Once you have those 3 tools dialed in, then maybe we can add a 4th. It's kind of the same thing I always say with social media, not to go off on a tangent, but like social media can be really overwhelming. So like if we just focused on mastering one platform, let's just focus on Facebook. If that's where your customer hangs out, start with one. Figure out Facebook. And then once you feel like you have the hang of Facebook, then maybe we add Instagram, right? But we're not trying to master Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, whatever it's called. Now, we're not trying to do all these platforms at once because that's overwhelming and you're not going to stay consistent with it. So it's the same thing with focusing on business tools. So use tools like ChatGPT to automate your routine tasks. For example, could be email responses, text responses, newsletters, podcast outline, PowerPoints. ChatGPT is such a powerful tool when prompted properly and can make your life and your content so much easier. Boosting your creative output. So staying focused with platforms like Canva. I love Canva for marketing, and it can be a bit cumbersome in the beginning till you get the hang of it, but Canva allows you to create social media templates and business templates. You can save your preferred fonts and colors and your brand kit in Canva so you create a consistent marketing and social media presence. And you can create platforms like if you're a person who posts a client review every Friday, like I call it like a Friday feature. I have those templates pre-created in Canva So all I'm doing every Friday is copy and pasting a review into my already pre-made template. It takes me maybe 1 minute, right? So because I spent some time creating those templates up front, it creates for more time for me to do other things later and to stay consistent with it. So using Canva for your marketing presentations or social media is huge. The last part of this third section that I want to stay focused on is minimizing distractions. Easier said than done, right? Like you might say, Megan, I'm ADD, I'm ADHD, I have so much going on, I'm a mom, I'm pulled in 500 different directions. Trust me, I get it. I totally get it. I'm recording this podcast with my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm so stressed out right now because my phone is on Do Not Disturb. But I will tell you, minimizing those distractions, and if you time blocked, that 45 minutes on Wednesday to make your phone calls, put your email on Do Not Disturb. Put everything else, shut every browser on your computer. If you can be more efficient with your time and focus on one task and minimize the distractions, you are going to be so much more efficient. So utilizing apps to help you minimize distractions. Maybe that's putting your phone on Do Not Disturb or an airplane mode. Maybe that's playing soothing music in the background or sounds for you. Maybe that helps you focus. You have to find whatever works for you to minimize distractions. And what works for you might not be what works for me. But integrating these strategies and tools into your daily business routine is going to help you go home and be a better mom, get more work done during the day, so you have more quality time with your family. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. We as working moms and business owners are expected to do all the things. I always say we are expected to raise children as if we don't work and work as if we don't raise children. You can't be everything to everybody, but there are tools out there that can help us be more efficient in the things we are doing in the moment to create and free up more time for things that matter. So I hope everybody found this helpful. Again, I am looking in the mirror saying all of this. These are just some things that I work on and try to implement every day in my business. And I just thought all things business, if I could share a few things that would help some other people, I would love to do that. So if this podcast helped one person, or if it helped you, feel free to share it with a friend. Please leave us some comments about what works for you. If you swear by something in your business or a tool that you use every day and you think it could help somebody else, and I didn't mention it in this podcast, share it with us. I would love to learn from you as listeners as well. And if you think this could help a friend, please hit that share button, subscribe. I thank you so much for listening. I don't have my wine today. I have my Stanley because I'm in the middle of a productive work day. But cheers, mamas. Hope to see you next week. Thank you for listening. Follow this podcast for more real life and real talk with the occasional whining thrown in there. Red or white, the choice is yours. See you next episode. Cheers.